Yes, we have as in some other procurement organizations that I've worked in, there's a significant amount of policy documentation. And so what we did with one of our teammates who heads up the policy group was to take a really, really in-depth look at why we had those policies and where they might be duplicative and how we might adjust that approach to be more productive. So what the initial quality, the team did, the policy team did, is they looked at about 750 pages, probably around 800 pages worth of documentation and policy guidance information, and said, how much do we need? How much is duplicative? How much is irrelevant? And they took a really, really good look at it and were able to cut out about 75% of that documentation from a policy standpoint. Now, instead of just sort of blindly taking that documentation out and then providing it to the team as a whole, I talked about the balance between changing and promoting innovation and at the same time having the structure. They established an integrated project team, and talked to legal, talked to contracting officers who are going to be responsible for doing the daily work, talked to customers, and said, hey, here are the changes that we're looking to make. Do you think we're on track? Are there any unintended consequences? And so that was a very intentional and highly beneficial conversation, because you get out of the situation where you're all of a sudden dropping a new process on somebody who's responsible for implementing it without asking their opinion. Again, it goes back to the concept that they're an expert. So after going through this process and working through it, we're at the tail end of it. We're establishing a new set of policies and procedures that has roughly 75% less documentation to it, but still covers all of the needed bases. And when the individual responsible for it briefs a larger team, you don't usually get standing ovations in procurement meetings, but we had one. We had one then.